recording artist Marilyn Dunn from St. Louis, Missouri. If you are looking for some soul-stirring, anointed, spiritual, and heartfelt music, visit my website at www.marilynndunnministries.com. Or you can also find me on CD Baby, iTunes, and Reverb Nation. For booking information, contact Mr. Kevin Dunn at 636-856-0551. That's 636-856-0551.
Hey, this is director-producer Alan Wills, and I am on Positive Power 21 with Jerry Royce Live. And when I'm online, I listen to Jerry Royce Live at www.spreaker.com/positivepower21.org. Y'all heard?
Hey, my name is Gilbert-Saenz, and I'm the author of Spiritually Reincarnated, and I am joining Jerry Royce Live today.
Hi, this is Angel Sessions, and when I'm in town, I listen to Jerry Royce Live, positivepower21.org, where they play my favorite music.
You are listening to positivepower21.org with Jerry Royce.
What up? It's your boy Kano Kingston.
Hi, this is Angel Sessions.
Hey, this is Pat. Hi, I'm Teresa Powell.
Hi, Jerry. This is Ira Sandro Carter.
Hi, this is Phil Powers.
Hello, this is Teresa Bobby with Jerry Royce Live.
Hi, I'm Philip Barron. I'm live on the Jerry Royce Show.
Hey, what it do? It's your boy Houston Saint.
Peace, this is Dahlia the poet, spoken word artist.
Hello, this is Ramon Marquis with Jerry Royce Live.
All right, everyone. You got Robin Lynn, and I'm keeping it live right now on Jerry Royce Live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? This is a award-winning podcast with the greatest podcast on earth. Thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce Live Worldwide on Internet Radio, where you get your positive on. So when it's all positive, it's all power. That's positive power. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Think you know how drugs get in those little brown bottles? Think again. Set in the green hills of western New Jersey, inside the gilded halls of power of a U.S. pharmaceutical company where decisions are worth billions of dollars and human lives worth less. Nicholas Harding, a young executive at Marshall Pharmaceutical, finds his career, family, and life in jeopardy. The Farmhouse, a suspense thriller novel by Bill Powers, published by Donna Inc. Publications, available at Amazon.com or DonnaInc.org. Go to Bill's webpage at www.author.billpowers.com.
Are you looking for the next great read? A book filled with love, passion, betrayal, and intrigue. The award-winning novel, Season of Change, by Tamika Patrice Kane, is sure to satisfy your literary sweet tooth. Check out this must-read book reviewers are calling uplifting and emotional. And exceptionally great read, deeply intense and thought-provoking. Order your copy today, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon.com or at www.tamikapatrice.com.
Are you an author looking for promotional services or a reader looking for a great read at low prices? In this competitive world of books, Writing Royalty Promotions is dedicated to bringing authors and readers together to build a greater respect for literature through our various promotional services and online bookstore. So head over to WritingRoyaltyPromotions.com and check us out.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and welcome to PositivePower21.org. I am Jerry Royce Live. That's right, and you're listening to episode 306, and our special guest tonight is going to be Gilbert-Saenz. That's right, he's here to share his poetry book, And before we read his bio, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Dominique Wilkins. Hold tight, y'all, for a 30-second presentation.
Have you been hurt, been backstabbed, got a talking back team? Well, you're not alone, no. Escaping to another reality. Through Dominic Wilkins' good books, audio books, paperback, ebook, good books.
Available on authordwilkinsgoodbooks.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 306. We got Gilbert-Saenz here. He's here to share his poetry tonight. For the first session of the show, we're going to get a chance to talk to him, find out who he is. And basically he's here to talk about his book called Spiritually Reincarnated. It's 3-poem set. And he wrote this book before he found God, when he found God, and when he was questioning his spirituality. And he includes psychology theories as well as some of his ideas. And it's a combination of spirituality, philosophy, and science and psychology. So this is a deep book, deeper than the way I can go. All right, so we're here to talk to him. So here he is, my man, Gilbert-Saenz. So Gilbert, welcome to the show. This is Jerry-Royce-Live. How you doing?
Hi, Jerry. I'm very glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, man. Welcome to Positive Power, man, 21.org. All right, man, the first question is, and the floor is yours, man, because I read your bio, and I know you got a lot to share to the world, man, and we're all listening. We're listening really closely, man, because, I mean, I read just that short piece we just read saying you're combining spirituality with philosophy and science and psychology, so we all ears, man. So like I told you earlier, we got till 8:30 till we take our break, so the floor is yours. So the question is, who is Gilbert-Saenz? Your story.
Well, Gilbert-Saenz, actually, I changed to many different people. The Gilbert-Saenz you're meeting now is not the same Gilbert-Saenz, let's say, about maybe 7-8 years ago. I want to share something, one of the most life-changing experiences in my life, and that's my testimony that I'd like to share with you that really turned my life around when I met Christ. And, you know, when I first found him, too, I found happiness. I found meaning to my life. Before, I was skeptical. And the moment I found him, I was like, you know what, man, there is something to this Jesus thing that I cannot explain. But I've never felt like it before. But let me just share with you my testimony for a minute. I would love to share with you the day that I found Jesus Christ, because it truly is the happiest day of my life. I hit my rock bottom and wanted to give up on my life because I was filled with pain. Before I met Christ, my life was miserable, and I even tried to end my life a few times. I abused substances and engaged in many despicable behaviors that I'm not proud of. This was the only way that I knew how to escape from my living hell. I remember one day when I reached my bottom, I couldn't take the pain anymore. I went to church to be alone and pray in the main worship room where services were held. This was on a weekday in the afternoon, so it was empty. I remember being in so much pain, wishing my life would end. I felt a tap in the shoulder, and it was a pastor of ours named Pastor Randy. I can remember him talking to me in a soft and gentle voice. When he looked in my eyes, it was as if he could see my suffering. He prayed for me, and I began to feel better. It was soothing and relaxing. We talked, and he asked me if I would feel better. He asked me if I'd accept Christ in my life. At that point in my life, I was so hurt, I kind of just said yes to kind of just say it, but really deep down inside, I never really did accept him. And so he kind of planted the seed for me, through my spiritual journey. And then a few months later, I got a summer camp working at a Christian-based summer camp dealing with abuse and special need kids in Kerrville, Texas. If I never would have accepted Christ the first time, I would have never been able to take that job. Working with those kids and the patience that I developed helped me grow spiritually. It was if I could see the Holy Spirit in all the kids, and they really liked me there. The parents loved me, really liked me so much that they even sent me cards Christmas cards when camp wasn't in session and things like that. So that working at that summer camp was kind of like a turning point in my life. Even after that experience, I was still going through some tough times and did not really grasp the concept of Christ. I still struggle with my spirituality as I just questioned everything. And that's kind of being a scientist in me, based up in that background. That was my thing, to question everything. One day I was coming out a deep alcoholic-based depression when I called a friend of mine from camp that had a really strong faith in Christ. He talked me over the phone and explained to me about the concept of Christ and that God loved us so much that he sent his only son to die for us. Something at that moment just clicked in. Till this day, I still don't know what it was. I was finally ready to totally accept Christ and put my trust in Christ. Because where it was is before I believed in him, but I didn't believe in him enough to put my trust, to put my life, to put my will in him. And after I said a prayer with my friend that night, I don't know, it's just a sense of peace that I've never felt, a sense of peace and relaxation and a sense of love that I've never felt before just overcame me. And it was the most beautiful feeling in my life. And then, it's like, and I'll describe it a little bit, like when I was driving home, the miracle continued to the next day as I was driving home. When I first stepped foot outside, it was like I was walking into a new world. Everything was brighter, had beautiful colors to it. The grass was greener. The sky was bluer. The birds were singing louder, and everything was just so beautiful. I mean, I was noticing all the little things that I've never noticed before. And even that night, I was always having trouble sleeping. I slept on a couch, and it was a pretty small couch, pretty uncomfortable. I slept the best that I've ever slept before. And, it was just, and I can't explain it, it was just like a kind of a high, but something that was missing my entire life, I just totally found when I found him. And like I said, I looked at everything in new perspective. Everything just looked beautiful to me, and it was just overwhelming. I can't explain the love that I felt. I actually felt the love of God, and I never felt it before. It was as if, and I felt like this, Jesus was sitting right next to me in the car, and I just felt so loved. I experienced a peace that I never felt before in my life. It was at that moment that I realized that everything was going to be all right. I came to the understanding that Christ was there suffering me all this time with me, and that I wasn't alone. And that was really a powerful, experience to realize that. Because I've always felt so lonely, desolate my entire life. But now, since I met Christ, I felt like I didn't feel alone anymore. I felt God's love, and it was so strong. I went from feeling down to instantly revived. This was the best feeling in the world when I stopped fighting it, and I just gave in and accepted Christ. I felt like 1,000 pounds had been lifted off my back, and that Jesus was right next to me, loving me for who I am. I finally felt accepted and a part of something special. Words cannot explain how his love made me feel. I never felt something so strong and wonderful in my entire life. This truly was the best day of my life. Since that day, I was able to attend more Christian summer camps, and I was invited to Alabama and taught Christianity in more depth lessons. The lessons I was taught in Alabama would remain for me for the rest of my life. Science could never provide me with what I received from Christ. I hung on to the Bible and was so hungry to learn everything that I can. I learned the true meaning of fellowship and how it felt to be accepted unconditionally. I would later attend another camp in Arizona, and along my way establish a Christian-based network with people that I truly feel connected to. Soon afterwards, I graduated with my bachelor's from the University of Central Florida in psychology. And then not long after that, I enrolled in graduate school, and I graduated from Nova University with a mental health counseling degree. And then when I was going to Nova, I also did my intern. I worked with veterans and with veterans coming back and people with substance abuse problems.
Right.
I put together this book that I was writing. Some of the writings I wrote, Spiritually Reincarnated is a 3-poem set. Part 1 I wrote before I found God. That's when I was searching for him. And part 2 I actually wrote while I found him. And you'll read it like towards the end. I found, you could tell by reading it that, I didn't find him till the end when I was writing that poem. And then part 3, I kind of questioned my own spiritual philosophy. But so I released the book, and I do a lot of poetry around town. I do a lot of appearances, and I also do short stories, because the book is just not about poetry. It's about short story as well, too. And but it all had to stem back to that day that I found Christ. That truly was the happiest day of my life. If I never found him, none of this would have been possible. I wouldn't be, I don't believe I'd be successful as I am today without him. And it's only through him that I feel, that I can succeed. But I just can't help but talk about how beautiful it was the day that I found Christ, because, wow, it truly was the most life-changing event in my life. But it wasn't until I was able to trust in God, when I was able to trust him with my life, that was the day that things turned around for me. Because the whole time before that, I knew he was there and I heard about him, but I never had that relationship with him. I never trusted him with my life. And it's not until that I was able to put trust in him that I was able to advance spiritually. That was the only way that I could advance. And like I said, Jerry, it felt so good because I've never felt that feeling before. And since like after that, it's like everything. Yeah, I still, because I work with Medicaid clients, so I work with a different population. I have about 25 to 30 on my caseload now. So even my toughest day. Yeah, even my toughest day working with them, I feel that I can do anything. That now that I have Christ, Christ at my side, I feel like anything's possible. And my belief, and when I pray to him every night, he brings me that relief. He brings me that calmness, that peace that I have been looking for my entire life. And he's, when I found him, it's like I knew that was it. It was just a connection right there. I knew that this was the religion. This was the God for me. I knew it by just that one night. And, I just owe everything to him, and to that one, that beautiful day. I just can't really say enough about that day. It was just such a powerful day in my life. And, my book, it represents a lot of my pain and suffering. I mean, I talk about, I want to take my own life. I thought my life was so miserable, I didn't want to keep going on. But you know what? I hung in there. I stuck it out. And you know what? It's so much better now. And that's what I want to, convey to anybody. You know what? If you're contemplating on taking your life, you know what? Hang in there. It gets better. And if you haven't accepted Christ in your life, man, I mean, I can't tell. It was just, he worked a miracle in my life, and he turned me, he rose me up from the bottom, and I couldn't have risen up by myself. I mean, I couldn't have done it without him. And like I said, man, ever since I met Christ, my life has been advancing, and I have not looked back since. And, it's like whatever I go through, I know I can handle it because I know Jesus got my back. And
that's right.
Just that feeling, you know what I mean, Jerry. It was just that life-changing experience that's hard to put in words and talk about because it's so powerful. It just changed my life. And yeah, man.
We can tell, man. We can hear by the passion in your voice, man, that it was remarkable, man. It was spiritual. Like you said, it was so powerful that you can't even find the words to describe it, man. But we can feel it. I'm getting chills now just listening to you. I understand. So the pain was that bad before you found Christ. The pain.
Yeah.
Tell us about the pain that you was going through. Tell us about that pain. We got a couple minutes before we take our break. Just tell us how bad the pain was before Christ.
Wow. Oh, man, Jerry, you're telling me to go down a really dark road there. I was lost. I was completely lost. I had substance abuse issues in my past. I had failed relationships with girls. My family relationship also among the family was kind of deteriorating because of my bad habits.
Right.
I mean, I have a couple writings and a lot of my pain is represented in this book. And I didn't tell you this, but I'm also writing another book. This is like before, but I'm writing another book that I'm working on by the end of the year that I want to get out that kind of shows my advance and how I advance. But like I said, the only way I could advance is only through Christ. That's the only way I could have advanced. And my other book has more because I don't feel comfortable really like performing the really dark poems, because I hate leaving my audience sad. So a lot of these in Spiritually Reincarnated, a lot of them are sad, but there's a lot of loved ones and happy ones too as well too. But that's just the only problem. I mean, I'll read one of them, but probably when we come back after the break. But I just don't. I'll read like a couple, but I want to leave my audience happy because that's where my life is. My life today, I am happy. I feel this love around me every day, and I'm truly happy.
All right, and this is what we're going to do, Gilbert. We want to tell people. We're going to tell people right now where they can get the book. So when we come back, we're going to listen to your poetry for the next 15 minutes before going into the closing of the show, because I really want to hear your poetry. Because I'm one of those kind of people. I'll read it, but I think I get more from it when I hear the artist perform it, and that's what I'm looking forward to, is hearing you read those poems. And like I told you earlier in the show, before we started the show, we definitely want to get some of your pieces, because we're putting together a mixtape that's going to be played on Saturdays. It's going to be combined with some other poets. So if you can get those to us as soon as you can, we'd be glad to put you in rotation for our weekend poetry studio. Okay? Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Okay, man. So tell people where they can get your book, man, and then we're going to go to break.
You can get Spiritually Reincarnated off any Barnes & Nobles, or all you do is Google it up. It's available on Amazon, eBay, basically any distributors, but you could just Google it up on Google, type in Spiritually Reincarnated and different links. And I'm also on Facebook and Twitter, so there are definitely many links on my Facebook Spiritually Reincarnated page. On Facebook, there are definitely many links, and I also release a lot of my work on there, and also on Twitter, I believe we have some links on Twitter as well too.
All right, we make sure we get all those links, put that on the landing page when they come out and listen to the show, because some of the people do come out to Spreaker.com/PositivePower21. For those of you that come out to PositivePower21.org and you just hear the show, you definitely got to come out to Spreaker to get the links to the show, to Gilbert's his Twitter page, his Facebook page, and all those things. You want to just click on it. We will have those available inside the splash page. Okay? All right. Again, y'all, we listening to Gilbert-Saenz. He's the author of Spiritually Reincarnated, 3-poem set, and we're going to have him back on Unplugged Poetry. So hopefully we get enough pieces from him that we can give him his own show on Unplugged, but we definitely going to get him in rotation. We're looking forward to listening to him tonight. And again, we're listening to Gilbert-Saenz, all right? And he released this book October 2013, was re-released the end of that year, and now he's back now spreading God's gospel. So hold tight, everybody. We're going to have a quick presentation, and we'll be right back. All right, here we go. Dominique Wilkins.
Have you been hurt, been backstabbed, got a talking back team, well, you're not alone, no. Escaping to another reality, through Dominique Wilkins' good books, audio books, paperback, ebook, good books.
Available on authordwilkinsgoodbooks.com.
Are you looking for a great book of poetry that is romantic, heartfelt, and full of male emotion? Then get Thoughts, Love, and Reflections by James K. Deshay. That's D-E-S-H-A-Y. Go to www.jamesdeshay.com. You will enjoy Thoughts, Love, and Reflections.
All right. We're listening to Jerry Royce Live worldwide on positivepower21.org and Spreaker.com/positivepower21. We're talking to the testimony of Gilbert-Saenz. All right, Gilbert, man, I'm so excited, man. I just love listening to poetry, man. I don't care how dark it is, how happy it is. You know, sometimes it takes you places where you really don't want to go, but you need to go. And sometimes we need to go there, man, just to appreciate the life that our good Lord has given us, man. And I say, man, the Lord has blessed me with a great childhood, great kids, great family. But, you know, we've seen some darkness, man. We all have seen some darkness when it comes to relationships, job situations, you know, because I've seen my share of prejudices. I've seen my share of mean bosses. I've seen my share of evil people. So I'm looking forward to hearing it, man, because sometimes we need to go there, man. And I know you agree with that. So the floor is yours, man. All right? We listen to Gilbert-Saenz.
All right. Okay, since you kind of like start, because I was going to start off with something like love, but since we were kind of talking about this, let me go into this one is Serenity Lake, and let me just read the preamble, then I read the poem, and then I'll start going into my other stuff. This is the preamble to Serenity Lake. The human body and mind has limited potential. The human spirit has limitless potential capable of miraculous things beyond our comprehension. Only by tapping into our spiritual consciousness can we take advantage of these natural resources, experience true freedom from ourselves, and release our emotional baggage. Every one of us has a limited dark side. We also have a limitless good side that goes beyond those boundaries. This is my dark side that has never been seen before. After years of struggling with it, I finally have it under control. When I was younger, there was this place I used to visit alone when times got tough. I call it Serenity Lake, and it has left an imprint in my memory. Lots of struggles within me have occurred there, and this poem is a glimpse of my suffering. This is my most personal poem that I've ever written. I call it Serenity Lake. There was this lake I used to know. When times were tough, I used to go. As I looked in the lake, my reflection would glow. I was falling apart and didn't want it to show. I remember that time I wanted to fly, 17 years old and wanted to die. I remember those times alone in the dark, covered in pain and tears in my heart. I remember that time tainted with pride. My only way out was suicide. I remember those times I should have died, strong on the surface but weak inside. Painful memories as they start to decay, submerged in my mind, they won't go away. Serenity Lake, a painful place, located down south on an old Air Force base. Pretty on the outside, so calm and serene, but listen closely, you could hear me scream. Serenity Lake, two worlds I cannot control, where demons lurk to snatch your soul. Life is nothing to me but a big test, waiting to see if I manifest. Alone in my journey, yet tortured by time, a miraculous life so dark but defined. Hold me in your arms and don't ever let me go. Be there for me when I'm out of control. And that one was Serenity Lake.
Beautiful.
That one, like I said, that one was, since you were talking about dark, that one was kind of like the dark one. This one is not as dark. This one is about love, and this is actually one of my favorites. So I'm definitely kind of looking forward to reading it to you. This one is called What is Love? And it talks about all the different types of love. So this is the preamble, and then I'll read the actual poem.
Okay.
There are so many different definitions of love, but which ones are correct? I believe that they are all accurate in some sense because there are many different types of love. I came to the conclusion that love is way too complicated to be described by one simple definition. Our brain is only wired to comprehend and understand a limited amount of information. As human beings, we tend to rearrange information into familiar categories in our minds in order for us to understand them. The more information we learn only leads to more questions as we come to realize just how little we actually know. To me, love is a special, emotional, mental, and spiritual bond that connects two souls. This is a broad definition, but do we really know the true meaning of love, or is it just an illusion? I call this one, what is love? What is love? I haven't a clue. I feel it every time I look at you. Love without trust is nothing but lust, burned by the fire and turned into dust. I love God and you as a friend, the type of love that will never end. Love is the connection of souls on a different plane, and searching for it can make you insane. Love is an emotion, feeling, and bond that will still be around even when we are gone. Does it come from the heart? Does it come from the soul? Or is it something much deeper we cannot control? Been searching for so long and treated like dirt. Every time I think I found it, I only get hurt. Through the aches, pains, and times I spend, only to get my heart broken in the end. What is love? Why is it so hard to find? Some keep on searching till the end of time. Love may be in front of your eyes, blinded by passion, lust, and lies. I will give you everything, including my pride. The day you left my life is the day I died. The love of my God always lives on, even at times when I think it's gone. Something you should know, I swear it's true. My heart cannot help falling in love with you. And that one is what is love.
Yeah, I love that, man. Beautiful piece. Beautiful.
Thanks. And I had this one that I wanted. This one actually was a kind of a special one because I dedicate this one to a girl who this was a girl who helped me find Christ, and she taught me so much. Her and her mother and her family actually took me in, and they taught me so much about Christianity and everything. And I met her actually at a camp. And this is a poem that I wrote about her, and it's called A Girl Like You. Every time you're around, my heartbeat starts to rise. I can see the Holy Spirit shining in your eyes. The warmth of God's love as it shines through. I can feel His presence whenever I'm with you. Like a sailboat floating through the big open sea. I can feel God's presence every time you put your arms around me. The warmth of His Spirit as it embellishes my soul. Until I found you, I was out of control. To me, you're a star floating in the sky, lighting up the heavens so the angels could fly. Because of you, I'm a new man. When I fell on my face, you helped me stand. Life has been a struggle I had to go through, and now I'm saved because of you. Your faith and love have been my gift from above. From the highest mountains to the desolate springs, you are the angel inside my dreams. When I look at the stars, I think of you. Brighten up the dark sky so a light can shine through. You're my sister, confidant, teacher, and friend. You are all I have left in the end. The sound of your voice as it echoes in my mind. A friendship like yours is so hard to find. I want you to know this, and I swear it's true. I will give it all up to spend my life with a girl like you.
Wow. That was powerful, man. Love that. Really love that one. All right, we got time for one more. Then we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back with your final thoughts. You ready?
Okay. This last one that I want to do is I actually want to this poem is dedicated to because our society has an image on how we want what pretty should be, and how a girl, in order for her to be pretty, she has to be this and all that. Well, I believe that every single woman is pretty in their own special and unique way. And this poem is dedicated to every single girl because I believe that you are all beautiful in your own special, unique ways. And this one is called Her Beautiful Face, and it was actually a fan at one of my shows. I actually saw her face when I was actually writing this. Her beautiful face. Her beautiful face appears in my mind. I want to be around her all the time. That beautiful That beautiful body, so sexy and sweet, like candy in heaven, such a beautiful treat. I can see myself falling in love with her. My heart is like a happy cat as it begins to purr. The power of her touch gives me such a rush. Her love is something I cannot get enough. That beautiful spark of God glistens in her eyes, the beauty of her face like watching the sun rise. It seems like fate is leading us down a trail. Her words and heart is my holy grail. Like an angel spreading its wings in the middle of a storm, just her presence alone makes my soul feel so warm. It's that beautiful face that takes me to that place. I feel it every time that we embrace. I look at the sky and wonder why. That look in her eye makes me I feel like I could fly. Wherever I go, I want her to be. She lights up my life endlessly. A masterpiece of God, her love shines so bright. If I had to go to war, she is worth the fight. Her beautiful face, so sexy and cute, that is something I cannot refute. That beautiful voice sounds like an angel playing a flute. I ask God, is it meant to be? I just don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I hear you, man. Gilbert-Saenz writing the poem for the beautiful face. Wow, man, that was lovely, man. Did she ever did you read it to her, or did you get any response from her about that piece?
You know, she just said she liked it and she smiled to me, and I actually gave her a copy of it. And I know this sounds a little slick, but I did put my phone number in it too as well too. She hasn't called yet, but she's been to several of my shows though. Like my last, I believe my last 3 shows, she was at all 3 of them right there. So I think that's I hope that's a good sign.
Yeah. So where can people see you live at, man? You just mentioned a couple of shows. Where can they see you? Is this a regular thing?
Yeah, well, I do all around Orlando, all around the metro area. I do almost every open mic. There's a place called Austin's off Fairway in Winter Garden, located near Orlando, that I go to every Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. It's called Austin's Coffee Shop, and it is if you're ever in Orlando, because they just don't have poetry there. I also read short stories there some nights, and they even have rap and rap battles and things like that. But I go there, and then there's another place on Tuesdays called Dandelions, and I haven't been there last 2 weeks, but I usually go there and perform. It's like a little outdoor coffee vegetarian cafe, and it usually has a big audience, and I usually go there and perform on Tuesday nights, but kind of scattered all over through Orlando, whatever events or open mics they have.
Wow. So you said Dandelion has a really big crowd?
Yeah, and it's a real small. It looks like a house, and it's located near business. It looks like a house that they converted to a business, so it's really like a homely type feeling. But for that small space, they get a good amount of people. Maybe 70, 50, 60 people. So they do get a pretty good turnout.
Wow, they pack it in. Wow. All right. Now, when you're reading, do they have like a house band playing with you or a DJ?
Usually, most of the times, we usually have a host. There's usually like a host there that's like introducing. Sometimes they'll put background music on, just I guess CDs or something like that. But most of the time, it's with an MC that usually introducing everybody that's coming on. And we also have slams every month, which I participated in my first slam, which is a poetry contest. And this was my first time. I didn't memorize myself, so I could have done better. But I'm looking forward to doing more of those in the future as well, too. But we do them every month here in Orlando.
All right. Man, you're getting around, man. All right. I'm glad you shared that, because we have a couple of people that's from your area that's into poetry. Well, they just got into it, and that's some good information you just gave out, so they know where the action is going on in Florida. All right, we're talking to Gilbert-Saenz, episode 306. You can find him at Barnes & Noble. His book is at Amazon, eBay, and the name of his book is called Spiritually Reincarnated, and it's a 3-set poetry book. All right, hold tight, everybody. Quick message from our sponsor. Then we'll get our final thoughts from Gilbert-Saenz. Hold tight, everybody, for a 60-second presentation.
Are you an avid reader of urban fiction, looking for drama, suspense, and more? Reads World Publishing is dedicated to bringing the world's best literature to our readers. Urban fiction, erotica, sci-fi, mainstream fiction, and children's literature are just some of the genres produced by our diversified family of authors. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at our website, www.readsworldpublishing.com.
All right.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
You are listening to Positive Power 21.org with Jerry Royce.
All right, thank you, family. All right, that's Maryland, Eastern Shore, Washington, D.C., the Carolinas. Man, family's just all over the place. And now they hitting us up from overseas. Okay, we're talking to Gilbert-Saenz. Man, you gave us a beautiful session, man. We appreciate you sharing your testimony with the Positive Power 21 radio cast worldwide. Oh, man, it was powerful, brother. We really appreciate you coming on, man. Now, we're just ready for your final thoughts, man, and we'll be able to close up the show, episode 306.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's been definitely a pleasure being on your show. Final thoughts. You know what? No matter what life throws at you, you know, if you keep your faith, you'll get through whatever. You know, once you're able to, for me, finding God, that was what changed my life. Once you find that whatever it is, you know, to change your life, then you know you will. Of course, God. But, you know, once you become more involved with it and you find something that you're passionate about and that you really love, you know, your life becomes better. And, you know, your life can become better. And I'm living proof of it. You know, I literally was in the gutter a few years ago, and I was able to rise up and become successful. And if I can do it, anybody can. So basically just hope. I just want people to get the message of hope by reading my book and see, oh, you know what, I've been through that too, but you know what, he came out of it on the other end ahead. So I just basically the message of hope. That's the message I want to get out there.
Yes. Awesome, man. Awesome show, man. Gilbert, we really appreciate you coming on, man. And I want you to hold the line while we close out the show, because I want to get some information from you and give you some information. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of episode 306 with Gilbert-Saenz. That's right, he's the poet. That's right, he's a whole lot of things now since he found God. And Gilbert, I tell people all the time, man, if they want to hear the good stuff, I mean the real good stuff, just like what you just told us today, man, how you were in a gutter. You was nobody, man, and you found yourself through God. It took a while, took a little journey, but you're here now. You're successful, but you can talk about it. And that's the good thing about it, man, because people are going through some of those things right now as we speak, as they hear our voice right now, whether it's on demand, whether it's live, somebody's going through it or they know somebody's going through it. So hopefully, if they hear this podcast, it can make a change. And we know it took a while, man. You know, it took you to read you had to do 3 parts of your book before you got where you are today. But the main thing is you're here today and you're part of God's army. All right, that's the end of my piece. I'm Jerry-Royce-Live worldwide on PositivePower21.org, Spreaker.com/PositivePower21. Did you hear me? Spreaker.com/PositivePower21. You hit us up on our website. You listen to these shows. You make a difference in your life, everybody. Stay awesome all week long. I'm Jerry-Royce-Live worldwide. Thank you for tuning in to Jerry Royce Live on PositivePower21.org and Spreaker.com/PositivePower21. This is a Royce Enterprises production. And don't forget about replay on Facebook.com/Jerry Royce Live. All right, y'all. That's a wrap.